Okay, wow. Cobra Kai season 3 was my favorite. I already love the show so much, but this season was awesome. I feel like this season was the most emotional yet, especially because of Miguel. Now, I love Miguel so much. I feel like he's my favorite character, him and, of course, Johnny. I just found it really distressing when he was injured and I was not knowing, okay, is he going to ever walk again and everything? Is he going to be okay? I was glad he survived, but I still didn't want to see him paralyzed for life. So yeah, I enjoyed seeing that journey of Miguel being in hospital and that moment. I think he thought he was fine when he woke up, and then him discovering he couldn't feel his legs. Like, that was so heartbreaking. It was so deep and so heavy for Cobra Kai. That's where I sort of thought, I don't think he's going to die, because I felt like they wouldn't do that, I think, in Cobra Kai. I feel like that was too far if he were to die. But I'm so glad that it turned out that in the end, he could have a surgery. I thought surely that surgery would help. I had that feeling that maybe it wouldn't help and how depressing that would be. But I thought, I feel like maybe through the surgery, you know, it could help. The main reason why I thought that he was maybe going to be okay was because of that dream he had when he was in the coma. And you have Johnny telling him to fight back. And he was the one who was encouraging him to fight back. And in the end, when he woke up, Johnny was the one to actually help him walk again. With all the funny methods that he took to get him to walk again. I mean, the funniest for me was when he was in that baby carrier thing and he was like bouncing. That was funny as. I think Miguel even said that. He's like, I feel like a baby. That was really funny. And, you know, him trying to lure him with a Playboy magazine or whatever it was. And just all these old school methods. He's just like, get up and walk, you know. And he's just not sensitive to the situation at all. He's just hilarious. And he's so old school and not the brightest, but I love Johnny. He's really funny. But yeah, I loved how in the end, you know, he goes through that journey and he walks and discovers that he can actually have feeling in his legs again because, you know, he's at that concert and he's tapping his feet. And I don't know, I just thought that was a really cool way of doing it. I feel like they did that really well. They scripted that well. And it just, it was really great to see. And just those heartbreaking moments when he's like, why me? Why did that happen to me? What did I do? You know, it was just really hard. And Johnny just didn't have the answers. And just seeing Johnny raise money for him and, you know, it was hard to see Miguel's family hate Johnny and blame him. But it was also interesting to see that Johnny cared more for Miguel. He cared for Robbie and Miguel because he's worried about Robbie, thinking like, oh no, Robbie's ruined his life. Like, you know, there's a way back, but he could potentially go down a path of ruining his life. And then he's seeing Miguel who's like, you know, he really needed him right now. It was heartbreaking as well to see when Miguel tried to call Johnny just for advice and Johnny didn't answer and he was busy. I think he was busy with Robbie or whatever he was doing. And I don't know, I just feel like for Johnny, yes, Robbie's his son, but Miguel is kind of like his son as well. And it was sweet to see their relationship and Miguel just basically loving Johnny and just following him basically. I think Johnny was the one who visited him the most. It really pissed me off how his friends were not really visiting him. Like, sometimes at the start, but then afterwards, it's like, where are your friends? Are they even your real friends? I love how in the end, Carmen forgave Johnny. And it was a happy ending with that because I just couldn't deal if it wasn't made right. I've got the washing machine on right now, so if you can hear some noise, that's what it is. I also thought it was really sweet how Johnny raised money as well and was just finding all these various ways to pay for Miguel's surgery. I'm just glad it worked out, as I said, because, yeah, it was really sad. Every episode I'm watching, like, with watery eyes and just hopeful that that Miguel was going to be okay. It was interesting to see Robbie's perspective. You know, he ran away. He's now in juvie and not doing very well. He's got some enemies in juvie. Yeah, right now I don't really care about Robbie. You know, I liked Robbie from the start, but then just after this, not saying it's, oh, Robbie, it's your fault, I blame you, whatever, because I do think it was an accident. But, I don't know, just him running away, and I just find him a little bit annoying. like Tori. Hey, they're starting to get along now. They're probably going to be together. They kind of suit each other, and good on them. They're the characters that I'm not huge fans of. So if they can have each other, that's fantastic. It was really sad to see it get really low, though, with the Cobra Kai's breaking Dimitri's arm. Like, that was just too far. I thought that was a bit messed up. I don't know what's gotten into Hawk. I feel like he took it way too far, and I'm really glad towards the end we see them two make up and Hawk sort of walk away from Cobra Kai and realize this is too much. This is not who I want to be. Because Hawk was someone who I loved, and then he just became an absolute asshole. But it was really sad to see Sam with her post-traumatic stress. It was really affecting her, what happened, and like, I don't really blame her. It was actually really traumatic what happened, what she witnessed. Just seeing Tori basically like hunt her down, it was just insane. When Tori knocked down Mr. Miyagi's photo, I think that really triggered Sam into fighting back. Also, John Kreese, he takes over the dojo now, and it's good Johnny parts ways with Cobra Kai. Like, even though Cobra Kai to me, originally I thought it was something quite cool, it really does have that violent history, and it was really John Kreese's, like, he did start it, and it makes sense for him to take over. But I did enjoy seeing those flashbacks of John Kreese when he was in the army. Just how he was as a person, how he developed, and how he was a gentle person, had like a woman, and then in the end, what he did to the commander. Look, I don't blame him, because that commander guy was really, he was about to kill him, but in the end, you know, John could have just, you know, shown mercy and helped him back, and he didn't. That just really shows the history of him and how that mentality developed. It's really come from what he's been through, really. He's been through a lot, you know, in the army and everything, in Vietnam. You almost see his side too, of why he's how he is. And it sort of makes a lot more sense, and you can understand a lot more. And then how about when Johnny tried to create his own dojo, Eagle Fang? Like, that is the weirdest name ever. Imagine being part of a karate dojo and you're like, we're called Eagle Fang. Like, there's so many other names you could have, but I liked how in the end the Miyagi-Dos and Eagle Fang combined, but I don't know if you could really keep the Eagle Fang name. I think they should keep the Miyagi-Do name, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen in season 4. And I noticed that Miguel didn't, as I said earlier, he didn't join Cobra Kai again. He just followed Johnny because he sees him as his sensei. And I'm glad he saw that John Kreese. I think he got more of an understanding when he met Daniel, and how him and Sam have patched things up. He sort of realized, like, no, like, Daniel's not the bad guy. Like, you know, he's heard from Johnny how he's the bad guy, but he's not really. The bad guy is actually Kreese. I also loved how they went to Okinawa. Daniel's business is going down the drain, and I love how he went there to sort of fight for it, try and make business deals. In the end, he goes back to his old village, and he sees Kumiko and Chosen. Damn, like, Cobra Kai again, just giving us all the goods. We see all these old characters again, and it's the same actors, so it makes it even better. I love that he goes back to the village and it's changed, and because of course, you know, like, it's society's developed and everything. It's sad, but you know, what can you do? Because I'm nostalgic too, so I get that. But that's the way life is now. That was a very long time ago. But it was really sweet to see them to have a reunion, Daniel and Kumiko, and Chosen was nice, which I predicted. I thought, I bet you anything he's going to be this really sweet, like, funny guy, and really light-hearted, and really, like, I don't know, bubbly or something, and he comes across like he's the same guy, and then in the end you see that he has changed. I like that Daniel got taught those methods with the pressure points. I thought that he would use them later on. So I was a bit excited for him to learn that, because I thought, I bet he's going to use that. I didn't think he was going to teach. I thought at first maybe he'd teach Sam or teach his students, and I thought, I don't think that's in Daniel to do that, because if those kids learned that, who knows what can happen. And after what happened to Miguel, I don't think an adult would encourage the kids to learn dangerous moves like that. And I did research that. That is a thing. It can actually kill someone though, so it's not really a joke. It's not really something that amateurs should really learn and be doing it and be doing those moves on people. So also in Okinawa, I found really depressing was when they read Mr. Miyagi's letters. Now that was just when he talked about how he felt like a grandpa when Sam was born. Like, the feels. That was really, it was really beautiful and sad at the same time. I really like those moments. And I think this show, even though, you know, Pat Morita is not here and he's not part of the show, he is in a massive way. The character Mr. Miyagi is in the show all the way through. Nearly every episode, his name is mentioned, or he's in the episode where you see his face or a flashback. He's a real big part of the Karate Kid and a big part of Cobra Kai still. And I love that. And I just wish that he was here because he would definitely be part of it and it would be so beautiful. Also, speaking of Mr. Miyagi, I do love how it was basically him who saved Daniel's business because, as I said before, when he went to Okinawa to try and save his business, he couldn't until he came across Kumiko. And then basically the person who helped save him was connected to his company. And it was, if it wasn't for the connection he made from Mr. Miyagi and going back to his roots where he went with Mr. Miyagi in Okinawa, then his business wouldn't be saved. So he basically had to just take a break and go back to his roots. And it really, Mr. Miyagi really, in a way, saved his business. And I think that was really full circle and really sweet. And I just love the, like, emotional tie-ins they have with the story. I think it's really well written, this show. Really well written and really smart. So I really liked, you know, those episodes in Okinawa. I thought it was really beautiful to incorporate. They're incorporating really all of the scenes in Karate Kid. You know, you've got a lot of the first Karate Kid. You've got now the second Karate Kid. Now we just need some characters from the third Karate Kid, I guess. So, and then speaking of those methods Daniel learns, we see Daniel and John Kreese fight. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting to see that. I wanted to see Daniel and Johnny fight, but at the same time, it feels really epic for Daniel and Kreese to fight. And of course, he uses those moves on him. And it was sick. And so we come to the epic fight scene at the house, at the LaRusso house. That house is so beautiful. What the hell? I mean, it looks like it's in Europe or something like that. You see that it's not resolved though. It's not over. Basically, you've got all these kids fighting everywhere. And you see that Tori and Sam, it just doesn't end because you see a lot of them make up, a lot of the kids, the Cobra Kais, but then you see people like Robbie and Tori. It's not over. It's going to continue. They haven't made up. They haven't resolved the issues. So clearly we're going to get season 4 and I'm all for it. I cannot wait till we have season 4. I think they're filming now. I'm not 100% sure. And how can I forget? Ali comes back in season 3. It was so amazing and so nostalgic. I kind of liked how they had that moment where Johnny and her had a thing because, you know, he's had that desire for her for a long time. He's always talked about it, always got funny about her. I knew that she'd be single and, you know, they potentially think, oh, they're going to get back together. And I liked how Daniel was a bit weird too. It wasn't just like, oh, hey, you know, he had to make peace with her too. Even though he's married and moved on, he had to have that peace with her because there was no real conclusion with them. It ended badly, apparently. But anyway, I like how it ended where, you know, they went to golf and stuff and all that. And it was nostalgic. But I did like how in the end, Johnny, how they had that conversation that, you know, let's stop living in the past and move forward to the future. Because at the end of the day, it was all in the past. It was all about the old things and karate and what, you know, Johnny and Daniel fighting for Ali in a weird way now. You know, that's in the past. I think they realized that. And I love how Johnny had peace with that too. And in the end, you can see his heart's with Carmen. And I think that's, like, just so sweet. And I think that's just, like, the cutest thing ever. How, even though I would have thought, oh, I'd want to see him and Ali, like, how cool. In the end, I think I'd rather see Carmen because, again, Ali It's too typical. It's too typical. Maybe in the end, who knows, but I think right now I really like him and Carmen. But it was cool to have Ali back, just having them all back together. It's just really nostalgic, and it's so cool that all the actors have come back. I think in season 4 we're going to have Terry Silver. I think it just has to happen. I think we're going to have him, and who knows what other characters that might come. I can't think of any major characters, but definitely some smaller ones might come back in. I would love to see more fights in season 4 between the adults. Like the kids, yeah, but I would love to see Daniel and John Kreese again, and maybe Terry Silver and Daniel, or Johnny. I don't know. I just think it would be really cool to see. I also think that John Kreese's army friend, he's gonna come back, because he did make that phone call in, I think, the last episode or second to last episode. He made that phone call to him and said, hey, you know, if I ever needed anything, I could call you. So I don't know. I just think that guy's gonna come in the picture. I don't know. Is he gonna be like a badass guy? Like, I don't get the importance of it, but I think he's gonna be a certain guy. Who knows? Maybe it's a character we've met. Maybe it's someone Johnny or Daniel knows. I know that we're going to get the tournament between the Cobra Kais and Miyagi-Dos and all that. So that will be really interesting to see what happens with that, who's going to win. Would that be at the end of season 4? Will there be a season 5? I don't know. Are they planning on ending it next season? You could really go on and on, but as long as they don't ruin it, because they've done so well so far. I would hate for them to keep going too far and ruin it. Another prediction, I think, would be a tragedy of some sort. I think, like, no one's died yet. I don't think. But I think, and I hate to say it, but maybe Daniel's mum or someone like that. Maybe John Kreese. I just think someone older will die. An older character. I don't think the kids would, because they've done that. They played around with that with Miguel. I can't see that happening again. And it going ahead with one of the kids dying. It's not that kind of show. But I have a feeling that someone will, whether it's Daniel's mum or, because that would be really sad, or John Kreese. So, because then Daniel would have lost Mr. Miyagi, like a father figure, and his mum too. So, yeah, I could see that happening. I hope Ali's in it more. I hope there's more characters in it. But yeah, that's season 3. I actually finished it a few weeks ago, mind you, so it's not really fresh in my mind. But yeah, I am so keen for season 4. You know, I watched season 1, 2, and 3 so fast between each other because I watched it way late when they were all out on Netflix. And now I'm like, I need my Cobra Kai fix. Like, how long is this going to take? I need it. So I'm really keen for season 4. So let me know what you thought of the season. Which one was your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? Who's your favorite character? What do you think is going to happen in season 4? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Thank you.